Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Today here at the Autonomous University of Hidalgo State in the Escuela Superior de Huejutla, as part of the Bachillerato Huejutla activities, some students from second semester, they are going to demonstrate their abilities and skills in English for an English debate. The main topic of this debate is about online education in Mexico. And today I have the pleasure to introduce you the different students who are going to be participating in this activity. We have the presence of Ms. Paloma Castañeda Santos from group number 5. Also, we have the presence here of Mr. Jose Ángel Hernández Bernardo from the group number 2. Today is joining us here in this activity, Ms. Yolanda Hernández Márquez from the group number 4. Also, there is Mr. Luis Alberto Medina Bautista from the group number 4. There is also here Mr. Eric Manuel Melo Sanchez from group number 3. There is also attending Mr. Mauricio Ramos Castro from the group number 3. At the same time, Mr. Arturo Imanol Ramos from the group number 3. We have the presence here of Mr. Jesus David Saldaña Hernandez from the group number 4. Last but not least, there is the presence of Ms. Jimena Berenice Salguero Corona from the group number 1. And there are the students from second semester from the different groups who are going to be participating with their enthusiasm here in the English debate. I would like to thank also to the Bachillerato Huejutla coordinator, Maestra Yolanda Mendoza Holguín. And I would like to thank Mr. Ignacio Sarmiento Vargas, who is the principal of the Escuela Superior de Huejutla. Thank you for all the facilities that both of you provided to this English debate. Thank you. So now we're going to start with the English debate about online education in Mexico. Remember that there are two teams, team number 1 and team number 2. Both of you will answer different questions. For every question, you will have only 2 minutes to provide your answer. Every student should participate in this activity. So right now, we're going to start with the first question that goes directly to team number 1. What are the advantages of online education in Mexico?
Well, there's a great series of advantages of online education in Mexico. The first one is the flexibility of the time and the schedule. You don't need a programmed schedule anymore. You can learn at your own pace and without any pressure. Another advantage is the cost savings in transportation. In addition to the personalized study, it motivates you to learning. You practically only need a computer or the other electronic device with internet connection and you are ready to start learning what interests to you. The online education is the future of the education in Mexico. So with that advantages, we can pursue that future.
All right, thank you for the participation of team number 1. So now we're going to proceed with the other question that goes directly to team number 2. And the question is, What are the disadvantages of online education in Mexico?
One of the principal disadvantages in the online education in Mexico is the lack of technological devices in the Mexican houses. According to a survey made in the 2019 by the INEGI, almost 20 million of population does not have a computer. In another survey made in the 2020, almost 50% of the homes do not count with an internet connection, mostly because of financial resources, which is something obvious because one of the worst problems of Mexico is the poverty. And many people of this country lives in this situation, and some of them in extremely poverty. To this, we must add the fact that many people who want to acquire an electronic device didn't know how to use it because they never used it one before, adding more problems to the situation. This means that many people were not prepared for this new modality, and the world is now were not prepared for something like this. And adapting to this was very difficult, but there were not only economic problems. Change resulted in problems for the students of the level of education too, learning, intermediate, and of course, internet life. Being education, the elementary education, the most affected. And the reason of this are children are just adults in the process of formation, and they don't have the ability to be educated by themselves. They are not responsive, they are not autodidactic, and they have of the they are just kids without worries, and this problem does not happen only in the education. This will happen in higher grade, and if are not there to learn.
Thank you for the participation of the team number 2. So now we're going to move on to the next question. This question is for team number 1. Does Mexico have the necessary infrastructure to face online education?
Hi, my name is Jimena, and I'm going to talk about this. This is a very controversial point in education today. In Mexico, with this new situation, many alternatives have been sought in order to continue giving a good education. And today, we can receive education from the internet, radio, TV, and others. And thousands of schools and teachers are striving to be able to make education reach their students without putting their health at risk due to the new pandemic that the world is experiencing. And I think that everything possible is being done so that each student can access education.
Thank you for participation of the team number 1. So now we're going to repeat the same question to the team number 2. Does Mexico have the necessary infrastructure to face online education?
I don't think that Mexico has a necessary infrastructure for the online classes because it's a developing country. It is important to consider this factor because most of the population is poor. So if the country's population is poor, that in which they live will not have good resource. Mexico has a variety of companies that offer cell phone and internet service, but the problem is that these services are irregular and bad. These companies are characterized by a poor internet connection and prices that not the entire population can afford. Another point is that there are parts of the country where there is no type of internet connection. So the children of this place have to make a long journey to get to a cyber, which is supposed to be avoided with homeschooling, or they don't study. The latter is reflected in the increase in school dropouts and the teacher lacks of interest in motivation students. In conclusion, Mexico doesn't have a good infrastructure. There are many points that have to be worked, and this will require a lot of money and time.
All right, so thank you, team number 2, for answering this question. Now we're going to move on to the third question. And it goes directly to team number 1. Are students and teachers ready to attend an online educational system?
They are. Actually, we are attending to a online educational system right now, and things have been going pretty good. So every student and teacher is ready, so we can take fully online classes all of the year or however long this goes. And every student and teacher has been prepared to this kind of situation right now because we don't know how long we are going to be studying like this. So everyone has like a plan on how to make this work, and if the teachers and the students don't know how to and those things will eventually change so that we can all have a good learning environment.
All right, thank you for your answer. And now, team number 2, the same question. Are students and teachers ready to attend an online educational system?
No, neither the teachers nor the students are prepared for this new learning modality. Although it has already taken almost a year, we are not prepared because it's not the same to checking through a screen to be singing and receiving education in a classroom. Teachers also do not know if the student is really paying attention, which is an organization. Another important point is that some students will live in marginalized areas that do not offer an internet service. This makes it more difficult teachers to each them and carry out activities because teachers have to move to those areas and read them didactic material so that they can work. And this is not a very good strategy because not now the students are learning under their activity by themselves, or is the parent who carries out the activities and most and classmates they are copied. I took the time to ask a primary education teacher if he thinks that the education system in Mexico is prepared for this modality, and her response was negative, commenting that because there are a large number of teachers who do not know how to measure team competition completely, and therefore the students of this level of education also do not have knowledge because at team they have face-to-face class, they were not take up subject. In addition, the activity plan and the textbook are for face-to-face class, and this delays the students' teacher work since modification must be made for the work at home based on the Learn at Home 2 program.
Thank you, team number 2, for answering this question. Now, we're going to proceed with the next question, that it goes to team number 1. Does Mexico need to change anything in its educational system?
Hi. Today, education has changed to a more structured and organized, take into account the needs of the students, makes interaction between the students, teacher, and the group, among others. And the methodology changed according to the learning of each one. Not everyone learns in the same way. And the integration of the new system of e-learning has made it possible to explore alternative training method to fast access to knowledge and learning, and with it brings advantage for students such as flexible schedule, which facilitates the organization of the students, and it's method that teach the student to learn. It instructs you in the techniques of self-learning and self-training, which reinforced with information technology allow a more complete use in terms of content. And also in this new system, teachers are forced to comply with certain conditions for the classes that are supervised to ensure that it's being carried out correctly.
All right, team number one, thank you for your answer. And for team number two, we have the same question. Does Mexico need to change anything in its educational system?
Well, of course, I consider that Mexico government needs to change the educational system, but not only this, it also needs to change or improve the quality of the services related with the education. For example, the quality of the internet connection, and the quality of the cellular data, and also they need to change or they need to take care about the information that the schools provide for the students, the information that will be helpful with the education. So another point that they need to consider is the difference between the online education and the physical education. So in the physical education, you have the possibility you have the possibility to take a feedback by the part to the other students and by the part to the teachers. So you can ask at the moment the question and you can receive the response at the same time, and you can hear the options, the opinions. You can hear the other way to think by the part to your classmate, and there is a point advantage to be in a physical education. So another thing that it changed with this type of education is the help in the students and also in the teachers. This type of education is a completely new thing that we never knew before. It's a completely new lifestyle, and in the beginning it was difficult. It's not like the same that um, we are ready or we are in. So and because of this type of education, it's we have different health problems like in the body and in mental health. So another point that the Mexico educational system and need to consider it include to the school new subject will that will help with the next education, with the next issues that will come, and to overcome everything that will that will come.
Right, thank you. Thank you for answering this question. Team number two. Now we're going to move to the last question of this debate. It goes for team number one. Uh, could you share any comments about your own experience using online education?
Well, online education in Mexico and around the world is the most appropriate since it gives you the studying and learning from home in an easy, simple, and not difficult way to avoid the spread by this virus that has used in this quarantine. And this time I have realized that by studying this way, I have learning to use different technologies to associate with more technologized devices um, mm, that without realizing it are very useful to release the multiple options um, that there are to learn without the need from personally attend a classroom or with a teacher. In the same way, it gives you flexibility because you can study whatever and however you want, either at home or in a restaurant. You only need a computer and an internet connection. You can also take your course at your own pace, going through all the content from the beginning or following a pre-established pace. Another benefit that only classes bring it that it's allow you avoid expense derived from the studying in a traditional academic campus such as transportation among others.
All right, thank you, team number one. And now the same question goes uh, to team number two. Could you share any comments about your own experience using online education?
Well, my experience as a student in this year of pandemic, it has been difficult because I did not know any digital platforms. I was not accustomed to work only on the computer. Sometimes I had problems with the internet connection, just like some teachers did. And that made me not to understand some classes. This year has been difficult to enter to high school due to connectivity problems to take the exam, and in fact, I have not met my classmates face to face yet. Another problem I had was being locked up and working all day on a computer. That brought me a lot of stress and exhausting. This happened because people are social beings and we need to go out somewhere to the stress. I also saw many complaints from students as many of them did not have a computer equipment to work at home or did not have an accessible internet and had to travel to other place to connect to a class. To finish, I have to say that I have had many problems to receive a good education since in the Huejutla region there is not enough infrastructure so that all students can continue their classes online without any problems at all.
Well, with this, all the different participants from both teams, team number one and team number two, have finished their participation. Thank you very much to all of you. And well, maybe you who is watching this video later will need to make your own conclusions on this important topic about the online education in Mexico. Of course, that there are many advantages as well as many disadvantages. One of the advantages we have right now at the Escuela Superior de Jutla from the Autonomous University of Hidalgo State is that we are adopting at this moment the e-learning mode for education, which gives students the flexibility and the different activities and resources to study online. And remember that all these activities are available 24/7 on the Garza platform. It means all day long. So whenever you have the time to check your activities, they're always available on the Garza platform. These are some of the advantages that we can talk about the online education right now in Mexico. And of course, that students from different parts of the state, from Hidalgo and also from Mexico, from the country, they are studying at the Autonomous University of Hidalgo State at this moment without moving from their hometowns. Now, talking about the disadvantages, well, as the team number 2 mentioned, there are many different things who are affecting the online education in our country. One of them is that some students, they don't have electronic devices such as computers or laptops to study, or probably they don't have an excellent internet connection. And also the lack of motivation that sometimes students and teachers are facing against this kind of online education in our country. So, well, I really appreciate all your participation. Thank you very much to all students from second semester who were participating in this debate. That was all the participation. Thank you very much. And that's all for today. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, teacher. Have a good
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye, teacher.
Goodbye.
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 Goodbye.